Sheriff Gore, welcome.
Thank you, Michael. Good to be here.
Why are you running for re-election?
Well, I couldn't be prouder of the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. They've done wonderful work, and yet there's still work to be done. And I think I'm the one to lead that department for the next 4 years. Some unfinished business. We've done, like I say, amazing things both in our jails and on the criminal side, but there's unfinished business.
Talking about the jails, talking about mental health, there was a recent investigation by Disability Rights California, and they said that San Diego jails continue to face, quote, a suicide crisis. Here's what they found. They said that the county lacks an effective communication system between deputies and mental health staff about an inmate's situation. When you discover that there's been a breakdown in this communication, how are deputies dealt with?
Let's take the underlying issue here with the crisis. They looked at a period in time of 2014, 2015. We've been working tirelessly for the last, well, like 6 or 7 years since we took over this large responsibility to continually improve the mental health care in our facilities. Every one of our deputies has been to psychiatric emergency response training. We've increased our enhanced observation modules in our facilities. We've doubled the number of mental health clinicians in our facilities. We've contracted with Liberty Healthcare, a nationally recognized healthcare system in the United States, to provide mental health care in our jails. So I think when you look at the snapshot they looked at, and I invite your viewers to go on our website where we have all of our answers to their criticisms and what we've done to address these, posted on our website. Also, there was a grand jury report a couple of years ago. That's all on our website too, with the answers and what we've done to really improve the mental health care in our facilities. So like I say, it's a continuing challenge, but I think we're rising to the challenge in our facility.
I wanted to ask you about something that just happened a few days ago. There was a settlement reached on May 1st between, in 2 sexual misconduct cases between 2 women and San Diego Sheriff Deputy Richard Fisher. He was charged in February after 14 women had accused him. He is now on unpaid leave. Termination proceedings, from what I understand, are ongoing. Have those cases, though, led to any changes in your department in terms of how you handle accusations against a deputy?
No, I think it's important to look at how we handle that particular investigation. We were accused of slow walking this investigation. Nothing could be further from the truth, because when a deputy behaves inappropriately, or in this case criminally, it impacts every deputy out there. There's not a more serious investigation that we undertake. In the case of Deputy Fisher, when the second allegation came in, he was removed from the field. To our first concern, make sure nobody else was victimized. He was put on administrative assignment, and shortly after more victims came forward, we put him on administrative leave out of the office. I assigned 2 sexual assault detectives and 2 internal affairs detectives to work that investigation. We worked in conjunction with district attorney investigators, and I think when you look at the results, we took care of business. We did the investigation.
Do you think that's the same process you would carry out in the future if something happened, or do you think that this has taught you anything about how you might change it going forward?
No, I think we would do it the same way. When you have allegations of misconduct or potentially criminal conduct, we do that. We do an investigation, and I'm proud of the investigation we did. In my mind, it was more important to do it right instead of doing it fast. And as you recall in that case, victims kept coming forward, and so we'd have to go back and talk to that victim and try to corroborate their stories. So it was a long investigation, but I think ultimately we did a thorough, complete investigation. Charges were brought, and the judicial system will take its course.
Assemblymember Shirley Weber has introduced a bill that would largely restrict officers from using deadly force except when necessary to protect human life, which would be a change from the legal standard we have now. Do you have a stance on that bill?
Yeah, I've looked at it. I find it problematic. I think the standard that we have now that came down from the U.S. Supreme Court in the Garner case, where it says it is reasonably objective person would use deadly force looking at the totality of the circumstances. I'm concerned when you start adding different things that a deputy or a peace officer has to go through before he makes that split-second decision, could have 2 effects. One, he won't get involved. He'll look the other way and go the other way, which I think we've seen in some areas around the United States, deeply troubling to me. The The second would be that moment of hesitation might cost him his life or somebody, an innocent person's life.
Thank you so much for coming in, Sheriff Gore.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks for having me on.